There are two tactics everyone wants a piece of. One is a Klopp tactic, the other is a Guardiola tactic. This is Guardiola's unbeatable 4-3-3. Let's see how it actually works. So obviously we are not using Manchester City. We are using the other side of Manchester with Manchester United in red, Brentford and Nottingham Forest as usual with transfers on. And I have to say, if we look at the league table, Manchester United crushing it with 71 points, 9 points above their fourth place counterpart, Wolves. Interesting. I have not seen Wolves up there. Man City and Liverpool just strolling to the top as usual. But Brentford and Nottingham Forest dead, almost dead last, tied on 29 points, just 5 points above just dead last Brighton. But Manchester United with 71 points, clear winners in this competition against these three. Let's take a look at the tactic though. As you can see, it is unbeatable Guardiola 4-3-3 tactic. It is a Topa, I don't know what that is. Topa Sahip OL. But attacking mentality, you have a sweeper keeper in support. You have two wingbacks in support. You have a central defender in defend on the left, a ball playing defender on the right, a DM in support, a ball winning midfielder in defend. You have an inverted winger. I keep saying wingback in support. A winger on the right in support, an advanced playmaker in support and centrally, and then right above him is a complete forward in attack. In possession, fairly narrow attacking with approach play is pass into space, overlap on the left and right, play out of defense, passing directness is shorter, tempo is standard. The final third is mixed crosses, work the ball in the box, and be more expressive. In transition, counter press. Wow, no counter, no distribute quickly, no anything. Just counter press, distribute to the center backs, and take short kicks. And then out of possession, high press line of engagement, higher defensive line, much or not much more often, but trigger press more often, prevent short goalkeeper distribution, and that is it. No opposition instructions as usual, and that's where you find yourselves right now. As you can see, Manchester's schedule does look like a nice sea of green with a couple of, a handful of losses, a handful of draws here in the first set. Uh, Losing out to Newcastle 0-2 in the EFL Cup third round, Aston Villa 0-1 in the Premier League. Starting off post World Cup though in the same style until you get to roughly Aston Villa. You beat Nottingham Forest 4-0 in the Premier League. You beat Roma in the Europa League, passing through to the next round. You do beat Benfica 3-2 and then draw Benfica. And then in the European final, you can see they beat Arsenal 3-0. So a nice ending to the season with just, two losses right there against Leeds and Newcastle, but a handful of draws, but still coming out winners in at least the Europa final. Brentford started out nice, obviously a 1-1 draw against Wolves, okay, but a 0-1 Arsenal win, a 0-1 Newcastle win, EFL Cup second round, 2-2 draw with penalties against Bournemouth, but then just shambolic after that. Just losses all over. You actually do pick up a win against Southampton 2-0, but overall, I mean, even the draws, Fulham 3-0, Leicester 3-0 or 0-0. So, but everything else, an absolute loss. You do have a nice January. Wins against Middlesbrough, Nottingham Forest, and Bristol City. You are progressing in the FA Cup until their Wolves 0-2. But the last half of the season, just awful, awful, awful. So out of every competition, completely out of the Premier League now. No saying much anymore. Schedule wise, for Nottingham Forest, starting out again, Fulham with a 2-1 win, Bournemouth with a 1-0 win, Brighton with a 1-1 draw, and then you just kick the bucket. Wins against Brentford, wins against Everton, Rotherham. So, I mean, yeah, not a lot of good here. Aston Villa 3-2 win. Brighton a 2-0 win. Fulham and Wolves. But overall, you're out of the FA Cup against Burnley. You're out again in the EFL Cup against Wolves, the 1-4. But overall, just absolutely horrific. So yet again, Nottingham Forest picking up Scarpa, but here you got transfers for Brentford, Rade Krunic again, but Javi Manquillo from Newcastle for 4.5 million almost, or just over. So at least there's someone new. Manchester United coming out with a couple of new ones too. Jesus Ferreira with 55 million from FC Dallas. Leonidas Stergiou from St. Gallen, 3/4. And then a couple of outs, Rade Vitek again. So pretty much standard, except for some of these players. Some of the ins are new ones for me, so that's pretty good. So clearly throughout the entire team overviews, you are not going to see Brentford or Nottingham Forest whatsoever, minus one category. I've just taken a look. Most goals, Man City with 91, Liverpool with 81, but Manchester United with 63 in third place. Fewest shots against, Manchester United with 380. Most possession, actually Manchester United is there, which is the first almost. Hardly ever anyone gets into that list. No most dribbles for. Fewest conceded, Manchester United with 26, second, which is very nice to see. Most shutouts, Manchester United tied for fourth with 17. And then here's where Brentford is in sixth with most tackles won with 850. Nottingham Forest, not even in the list at all. So overall, I mean, Manchester United definitely doing, as you could tell, in third place, a much better job than the other teams. As we look at the player overviews, again, I'm not expecting much. Haaland with 41 goals this season. Ronaldo with 21. Most assists. Manchester United, Rashford with 10. Most player of the match awards, De Gea with 6. And then, yeah, really, there you go. Most dribbles made, Brennan Johnson of Nottingham Forest with 149. Jadon Sancho at Manchester United with 129. Rashford with 132. Fewest conceded, De Gea with 22 in second place. Shutouts in fifth with 16. So overall, I mean, it's clearly a Manchester United show. Most shots with 100 for Ronaldo. So overall, doing very well. As we finish out, this is probably going to be pretty awful to see post Manchester United, but top goal scorer is Ronaldo with 32 in all competitions, 7.42 average rating for Ronaldo. Rashford with 15 assists, and then most player of the match awards, 7 for Ronaldo. And then here we go. Brentford, as we're going to see, 17 goals for Ivan Toney. It's actually a pretty good tally for Toney. 17 in all competitions, but still nowhere near what he's seen before. Vitaly Janelt, I have no idea who this guy is, never heard of him. 701 highest average rating. Most assists, Keane Lewis Potter with 5, and then most player of the match awards, Vitaly Janelt again, 4. But most player of the match awards, 4 for Janelt. I still don't know the guy. Nottingham Forest, top goal scorer 12 for Iwoni. I'm never going to get that. Niakate with 694 highest average rating. Brennan Johnson and Renan Lodi for most assists. And then Brennan Johnson with 3 player of the match awards. And that is it. As we could just finish out with the league table, obviously Manchester United is 71 points is probably a higher tally than a lot that we've seen some of these tactic talks. So definitely take a look at this one if you're interested. For Manchester United, but Brentford, Nottingham Forest, some of the lower teams, some of the half teams and down, I wouldn't even bother. But that is it for me, 7FM, for the Football Manager blog channel, saying thank you as always for watching. Take care and enjoy.